Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Reese.
Yes, sir.
You've been with ATP since its inception, correct?
1991, yes, sir.
When ATP started out, were y'all a deep water player or a shallow water player?
We were exclusively a shallow water player. It was formed by Paul Beaumont, as he says, on the floor of his living room, and I helped him along with a couple of other gentlemen. And we basically took two projects in 1993, 94, put them on production, cost about $7 or $8 million for our first two projects. In January 1995, we were on production.
So two projects, living room, couple of guys, it's American dream.
Absolutely, it is.
Taking a risk. You could have drilled some dry holes.
Yes, sir, we could have, and we did.
A lot of bob and soup. And then today, you are now
We're the fourth most active operator in the deepwater Gulf of Mexico behind BP, Shell, and Anadarko.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, here's the question. If you all had to go back in that living room today, under the current regulatory environment, in 11 years, could you be what you are today?
No.
One more time.
No.
Okay, so
I can give you a longer answer, but the answer is...
No, I know. Look, I believe you. I am sitting here because I believe that last year when I ran. See, in 1995, I started a business with a friend of mine. $10,000. I didn't need $7 million. I wish I'd have had it.
We didn't have $7 million. We had to go find it.
But you see, that's what I did. And then I sold some of those businesses, and we employed a lot of people who have gone on to do a lot better things. Some of them make more money than me now. Guys that worked for me. And I recognize that this federal government is destroying that American dream. It is destroying the ability for guys like you all to get back in that living room 11 years ago and do what they're doing today.
To have a group of true entrepreneurs like Paul was, like I was in joining him, and doing what we did, I hate to say it, I think that's a thing of the past. The rules, the regulations, the costs associated, whether it's shallow water drilling or deep water or the not light. Our first deep water project, we took a project from Texaco. Unocal was our partner. That was about an $80 million project. And our most recent project, Telemark, is about a $1.5 billion project.
And in those 11 years?
Then 20 years.
Did you have any Macondo-like accidents in the Gulf of Mexico?
No. There's been 58,000 wells drilled in the Gulf of Mexico, more than 58,000. One had a real problem. One out of 58,000.
All right. And I'm guessing that your safety record is a great record. I mean, I think you care about your employees.
Yes. I mean, no one has a totally unblemished record in this industry. I will admit that. You can't be in this industry and have total unblemished.
Well, my driving record is not unblemished.
I was getting ready to say.
I want you to know that.
You shoot par every time you go out to play golf? No, that's not going to happen.
And a lot of it's my fault.
I know. Sometimes things happen. But no, we have an impeccable safety record. When we designed the Titan, we put a blowout preventer on the surface of the Titan. We also have a shut-in device, it's called a SID, on the mudline. Effectively, we have two blowout preventers on a deep water platform, one at the surface and one at the mudline.
And I would imagine that if the government had not done a thing but check its own self in what caused the Macondo well and investigated BP for the accident on that rig, is it safe to say that the industry, would you have been looking at that accident and trying to determine what you could do to ensure that your company wouldn't have that same type of accident? I mean,
two quick things. The first answer is absolutely yes. Anytime there's an accident, you want to know what happened. What should have happened and what would have kept us all from being here today is when the incident occurred. We've seen airplanes fall out of the sky. We've had Toyota had problems, things of that nature. What should have happened was an immediate cease for anyone using the equipment that the Macondo well was using to find out, was the problem with the equipment, was it operator error or what, immediately shut that down, and you would not have heard a peep out of the Gulf of Mexico, independents or majors, because that's what we would have done to find out we're using, I'm not saying we did, we're using the same piece of equipment they did. Is that a problem? Unfortunately, it was a let's punish and let's put this entire industry out of business for a while. And that's the reason we're sitting here today. It was an inappropriate response to an accident.